Hey guys, I'm excited that you clicked on this video. This video is one of 3. So if you're watching this one, know that there will be other ones posted within the next few days, or they're already posted out there, and I'd encourage you to go support us and watch the other 3 videos. This is like something hopefully you haven't seen out there in the hunting industry. My buddy Nace and I shot and filmed this and edited this up. I just wanted to do something a little different. I really wanted to have stories that hunters connected with from other hunters that weren't necessarily about a buck, but were about the individual and really had a way to impact and maybe change somebody else's life out there through their trials and tribulations that they went through, to really show the hunting community in a different light. So there's 3 parts of this. It's called Your Roots Tour. We're super excited about this. We shot this over 3 years ago, and I guess God's now putting it on my heart that you need to share this, you need to get it out there. Nace and I can produce and film and do a lot better than we did even on this video now, but I'm still excited to get this out there. Please comment down below, let us know your thoughts, share this video out there, and maybe we'll do more like this in the future. All right, gonna go ahead and put it in 4-wheel drive just so we don't slip. I'm going up this big hill here, but we are going to meet a really cool person. This is Hailey Nesbitt. She's got a really cool story that I think a lot of you can relate to, and it's just a lot. And once again, I don't know the full detail of the whole story that she's going to share with us. We're going to interview her and her parents. We're even going to hopefully be able to get out on the boat here in a little bit and kind of get to see her hunting grounds and her fishing grounds, but I'm really excited to hear her story.
Hey! Leave him up here. Leave him up here. All right. Get up there and hold him up.
Hi, I'm Hailey Nesbitt. I'm 23 years old, and this is a story about how a tick bite changed my life. How are you?
Doing good.
Come on in.
Steve Fuller.
Daniel Nesbitt.
Michelle Nesbitt.
Thank you. I love your guys' house. It's really pretty. Got a big mountain you got to climb up to get up here. So I bet you guys have a view out the back porch that I haven't seen yet.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can see almost the Missouri line from there.
Awesome.
Yep.
So this is one of your deer that you shot. Is this your only mounted buck that you've got?
This is my only mounted, yeah.
Okay.
I think I was 14 with my bow. It was just 500 yards probably from the house, and I was sitting up there, and it was Sunday morning, I guess, and he came out, and it was him and one other just like him, and he presented a shot at 20-25 yards, and
Came out around Christmas time with the decorations on and stuff?
no, those are new.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
my family decorates as well. We were talking about that earlier. Like, my family loves to decorate the antlers of my deer in the house this time of year. My nieces and my sister come over. So this is nothing new to me, but that is a really nice deer. You said you shot it with the bow. How far again?
20-25 yards, somewhere in there. It didn't go very far. I think it went 30-40 yards.
That's awesome.
I think actually you did something at Cabela's one year.
Oh yeah, I did a scoring.
And you did you actually scored it for me
Nice.
back then.
That's awesome. So you were probably in the youth division at that time.
Yeah.
How did you place?
I think I got second.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty good.
But
Do you remember when he scored?
it was 129
That's awesome.
something.
That's a good bow buck for sure.
But the following Sunday after I killed this deer, I actually killed that bobcat. So it was a hefty taxidermy season.
Oh yeah. For you or the parents?
I was lucky back then.
Yeah, right. So you shot it with a bow too?
With a bow as well.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people have done that. I've never done that. I've shot a bobcat multiple times with a rifle, but never a bow.
He came in really about the same way that the buck came.
That's awesome. Same stand, you said, right?
Same stand. The following Sunday, kind of snuck up on me.
Yeah, but they always do. That's why it's hard. I've had one come in with me with the bow one time. I wasn't able to get even full drawn before he realized I was there. So.
Yeah.
And then you got these big jokers. Whose are these?
The rest of them are my dad's.
Okay.
He's killed quite a few.
I want to talk about this buck because we haven't shared the story yet of what you've gone through. But I know during this time is kind of when you're going through some stuff and you're able to get up there and hunt with your dad on this. Could you tell me a story on this?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't able to play basketball that year, so I had a little extra time, I guess you could say. So I got to take off school for I think a week, and I got to go up to Iowa. And I've always heard all the stories about the deer up there. They're a lot bigger than around here. And he took me up there, and I don't know if it was the last day. I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was the last day we were there. We'd hunted pretty hard, but she could only walk so far and run out of breath, and wasn't sure it was going to make it happen. But on the last day, this bruiser stepped out, and it was about 20-yard shot. It didn't go far. Hailey actually was not in the stand with me on
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, she wasn't in the stand whenever I shot it, but she was up there, and kind of seen areas we set up stands. And,
that's cool.
And it was a pretty special moment.
Yeah, so you got to put your hands on the antlers and get to be part of the whole thing.
She got lots of pictures with it.
Yeah, right. I would too at that age. So I guess it's something cool that you guys can take away from that whole experience. Even though you were going through something, it gave you guys the opportunity to go through something like this together. And do that kind of hunt. That's always been a dream for like Dad and I to go up to Iowa and partake in something like that. We've dreamed about it forever, but never been able to do it. So it's cool that you guys were able to do that together like that.
I grew up hunting and fishing. My dad's probably my biggest mentor with that. He taught me everything I know. He went up to Iowa and killed a lot of the deer around me here, and that was something that I wanted to be a part of. So I actually got my first bow for Christmas. It was a youth bow tech, and we went out, we practiced out in the yard. We'd start out 10 yards, 20 yards, and then he went as far as he hung a deer stand up in the yard, and we climbed up the ladder, and we had to prove to him that we were going to make a good, clean shot. I was big into sports at that time as well, basketball, playing travel basketball. I was getting ready to go into varsity, and then my world kind of changed.
We noticed her breathing was the biggest change that I noticed, and especially even Larry Walker, a basketball coach, would just get on her because she went downhill so fast with her breathing abilities. Later we found out it was because she had a lot of inflammation on her lungs due to the tick. That's what they had told us after a few months. It was hard for me to believe that that's what it actually came from, till they sent us to a specialist in Denver, and they run several tests and found out that that is actually what it was.
I ended up going to Dr. Hedberg. He did a blood test on me, and that's when I was diagnosed with alpha-gal. Alpha-gal is it's where the Lone Star tick, it's the tick with a little white dot on its back. It has a sugar molecule that gets into your bloodstream, and it causes an allergic reaction to any mammal products. So I'm only able to eat chicken, turkey, and fish. And if I do have any kind of cross-contamination from anything like that, I will break out. I'll start wheezing almost. No more steak, ribs, or even bacon. But especially deer meat. That was one of the biggest things for us. Our family is always cooking with deer meat, but that was no longer an option just because of the way my body would react. I've had 7 nasal polyp surgeries over, I think, 3 years. Up until, I guess, 2 years ago, I got put on a shot called Dupixent, and since then, I've been a lot better. So he started me on some steroids and different things to help with all the hives that I would get and to help try and get some of the inflammation down. He referred me to the National Jewish Center in Denver, Colorado. And I went through all kinds of different testing there. I think we were there 3 to 4 weeks. It was every day. They had a schedule for me. It was from 8 to 5. And then on the weekends, we actually got to go and we kind of got to do what we wanted. One weekend we went to Estes Park, and that was pretty neat. It was middle of September. The rut was going on. There's elk bugling everywhere, just mule deer, all kinds of wildlife around, things I hadn't seen here in Arkansas. So it was a good way to kind of get away from the hospital and just be able to relax out in the outdoors.
We went to Denver we was there almost a month, and probably the biggest impact on our family was the community in Pea Ridge. They rallied around us like everybody knows Pea Ridge is known for. We had some friends at work where Michelle works at the Pea Ridge School. They had a cake raffle. I have a good friend, Bucky Holtz, that put on a concert for us. And they done all this while we were in Denver. Big Sugar, Jeff Arnold had a golf deal to raise, and all this was to raise money. A fishing club that I've fished with ever since been started, Elite Series in Beaver Lake. They had a fishing tournament, and they sent all this money to us when we was in Denver to help with the financial parts, was because it was a big struggle and it took a lot of money. We were off work, and just the love of Pea Ridge and the people around here was probably the biggest impact when all that was going on, that something we'll never forget. I asked a lady one time, I won't say her name, that she gave us quite a bit of money, and I asked her, I said, I don't know how I would ever repay you. And her response was, because she had had a kid that had went through some major things too, and she told me, just whenever you're able, you give back, and that's all that you can ask for. And I've never forgot that. So it was a big time, big time.
I'm in remission right now. I can eat for the most part. I can eat steak pretty well. I can eat burgers. But the one thing that still I can't have is deer meat, which you would think would be the leanest meat, but for some reason it gets to me, and the doctors think maybe that's because it did come from a deer. So for me, the biggest thing I guess that affected me the most was sports. All of that had to stop. So with that, I guess I had a lot more free times. I wasn't at practice late, so I got to come home straight from school and I'd go get in the stand. Or my dad would have the boat ready and he'd pick me up from school and we'd go to the lake. I remember a time that we were fishing over at Grand Lake, and the catfish bite was really good that day, and it was one after another. And I actually had to take a break from catching fish because I was out of breath from my lungs being so inflamed. Just walking to the deer stand, we had to take it slow. I had to carry my inhaler with me. It was, at 14 years old, I should have been in a lot better shape, but it definitely took a toll on my body, I guess.
As a mother, to watch your child go from being very active and you know, playing in the yard and hunting with her father and fishing, just everyday tasks were hard for her to do. I can remember many nights I would go in her room just to listen. Her breathing was always hard, and there were many nights we would wake up with her and she would have to do breathing treatments. Some nights she would have to sit in the bathtub in oatmeal baths. Just various things with her health we encountered. After everyone was in bed a lot of nights, as a mom, I would set up and I would pray. I would pray for it to go away. I Googled many nights thinking I could come up with a solution to get her well again, where she could do everyday activities without having to take medication. We're very thankful that Hailey's in remission right now and able to enjoy life once again.
Yeah, she's getting back to what we remember when she was younger. She missed out on a whole lot, and that's what hurt as a parent, that senior year of school. But now she is definitely doing a lot better. So just means more time in the woods and on the lake, and we're very proud of her college, graduating that, and the next step of her life.
So with Alpha-Gal in my life, it changed a lot, but I always loved to hunt, and I'm even more into fishing now.
Tell me just a little bit about your boat, just real quick, some of the cool features, and this was your grandpa's.
It was, yeah, it was my grandpa's, my great-grandpa's.
Okay.
It was there. It was in the middle of a field down in South Arkansas, and we got it dug up out of the field and stripped everything completely off of it. And,
so this is your paint job?
this is our paint job, yeah.
That's cool.
We got some stencils and
Looks good. Paint job, got a sound system in it. And we've already talked about your light bars, like your little light strips here for partying. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You got a nice little setup on here. So you got,
yeah, we've got a little graph. Got the trolling motor over there, and these millennial seats are really nice as well.
what do you fish out of? Like, what are you fishing for a lot of time when you're fishing out of this? Are you a crappie fisher or a bass fisher?
I've grown up doing it all, but I really like to go crappie fishing.
Okay.
So this is kind of my boat, so I can go crappie fishing. My dad, he likes to bass fish, so a lot of times he'll go do that, and I'll go crappie fish. Just depends.
You got the paint. You got like the rubber decking kind of on the floor there. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
instead of carpet, I like this because after you go catfishing or whatever, you can just come spray it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's cool. It's cool that you're keeping your great-grandfather's kind of memory alive with doing that. It's cool to take an old boat instead of just looking for something new. So it's kind of got your own little touch on it. That's cool, though.
Yeah, that big laydown right there is what I was thinking.
You know how to steer this thing? What's a fishing memory that's just means a lot to you? Biggest fish, or maybe who you caught it with, or a story behind it?
Now you're making me pick favorites.
I don't have favorites either, so.
I have a favorite one with him and one with him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're engaged now, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So you just, when did that happen? Not very long ago.
Last Saturday.
Oh wow.
So.
Last Saturday.
Really new.
And you guys both enjoy?
Yeah, Colton
fishing?
loves the outdoors just like me, so I met him about 2.5 years ago.
What were you guys doing to meet each other there? Fishing?
He seen my page online,
Okay.
where I hunt and fish, and he messaged me on there on Instagram. So
So he's trying to get some more hunting grounds.
yeah,
No, I'm just kidding there. Oh, that's cool. So like your parents said, you guys are both pretty competitive, so got a competitive spirit in both your fishing, your YouTube pages. And I know you kind of done some guiding before while fishing. Is that something that you foresee in the future that you maybe want to do yourself? Like,
Yeah, I've been finishing up college and I work full-time as well, so just balancing out all the time and everything. But yeah, in the future, I'd like to do some more guided trips on the river. I love to trout fish. The White River, if you haven't been, it's one of the prettiest places.
I've never been on the river itself. I've fished it a couple of times, but never while on the river. Tell me about, so you said you've caught a fish that meant a lot to you, probably with your dad and with your fiance. Like, tell me one of those stories.
Yeah, with my dad, we always fished a tournament called the Buddy Bass Tournament.
Okay.
It was every year around Mother's Day, actually. I remember one year we needed one more kicker bass to place. And right at the last second, I hooked into one. And there was boats flying by. And
Like go weigh in or something?
to go weigh in, it was last, we only had a few minutes left to fish. And I got one and we ended up doing really well in that tournament.
Oh, that's cool.
I won the youth division in that as well. I got all kinds of prizes, and I could have won a bow.
Oh, yeah? Could have won?
I could have got first, second, and third,
Oh.
but I only got first because I threw the rest of the fish back. That was a different tournament, actually.
Well, that's cool. You've gone through a lot with this whole thing. We've heard it from your mom and your dad, and it wasn't just a thing that you went through on your own, but it definitely impacted the whole family because they went through it with you. And now you're kind of on the other side, kind of getting back more to a normal life. And you're in, what is it called right now? Remission. So you're in remission right now. What does your life look like right now? I mean, as far as your limitations or anything like that?
I don't have a lot of limitations anymore. It's just, I still have to avoid the deer meat. I'm doing a little bit of red meat at a time,
Right.
That's better, but
Trying to get your body used to it again.
yeah,
See what you
it's
can. Pushing the limits a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be hard for me to stop that. So, and then now you're engaged. You guys haven't set a date or nothing.
No, not yet.
So you got a lot going in your future. So it's pretty cool to see how, even though you went through all this, like you got really cool hunting opportunities and stories with your dad, and then you've now even picked up and probably deepened your passion for fishing, and outdoors has continued to be a big part of your life, which is really, really cool to see. All right, well, I've got snagged enough on this lake today. I do appreciate you letting us come out, talk with your mom and your dad, and kind of telling us your story. And I know it's going to connect with a lot of viewers. We've had some exceptional stories, and yours is one that's going to be pretty cool to share out there. So,
Well, thank you for letting me share.
yeah, well, I appreciate you letting us come in there and just hear the story. And it's going to be pretty cool to see how it impacts others' lives. So it's a story that keeps on giving. Like your parents said, it impacted them, and it's cool to see you grow out of this. And now it's going to hopefully impact others who have probably had the similar story or may go through it in the future. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And guys, until next time, have a better than average day. The skip.